uh, random commentary for SNRA Saturday Night Racing round 7. Let me go ahead and send the link really quick, and I should be good. There we go. Share, copy, and paste. What's this? Okay. So for SNRA, uh, basically sprint grid is basically reverse championship order. So whoever's last is basically our championship leader, and whoever's first, whoever's our pole sitter for the sprint has no points. So or has the least amount of points. I'd say very interesting concept for SNRA. I have to admit, I'm actually quite a fan of this format that they've come up with. Sounds very interesting to race, but currently just waiting for the grid to ready up and we'll get going here for the sprint race. One of two races here at Azerbaijan. So just currently waiting for the grid. Hopefully we'll get started. As well as I'd like to mention, I do know majority of the drivers in here, so if you don't hear me call them by their actual gamer tag, it's because I know them under a different name, or call them a nickname. So, just for the viewers to be aware of that. But, hello everyone! Hello, welcome to the 4 people who are currently watching the stream. I think I can tell that majority of you guys do not know me. I am a friend of Magnus, um, who races in a different league with him called Lightning Speed Racing. Uh, this is my first rodeo commentating, so hoping you guys don't, just judge me, but please don't. Anyways, really appreciate you guys being here. So, as we are now 5 red lights, and it is there formation lap? And away we go. Salatosh is starting really well. A is already making a move before turn 1. Fusible Orange nearly making contact. Toss nearly going around the outside of that Alpine there. And looks like Carson sending it up the inside, making contact with Game Boy. A lot of contact there. As it looks like Salatosh are a pole sitter for the sprint race. Currently now sitting last. Big battle going nearly 3 wide there. Villeneuve and the Williams nearly getting sent to the wall by Asylum in the Haas. And yeah, Asylum's teammate Kendrick's currently sitting P11. So really good stuff from the Hasses at the moment in this 9-lap sprint race. Bit of a lockup there for, I believe, Chernobyl eye clocks. Now everyone going through the careful castle section. Very notable section of the circuit as we flash back to 2019, I believe, when Charles Leclerc's iconic "I am stupid" moment did arise. So, really quick tight race. Someone loses their front wing. I think that's that's Rosenstand, the Danish driver there in the Alfa Romeo, losing his front wing due to hitting the wall, and that is a VSC. Let's go and see our biggest movers there. So, Asylum up 6 positions. Really good stuff from Asylum to put himself up into P7, starting from P13. Actually, not even. Ares and Magnus, as Villeneuve in the Williams has decided to retire from the sprint race. But yeah, Ares in the Mercedes, currently sitting in P10 from P18. So really good stuff for the Mercedes. But Ares really following really closely with Magnus, who I believe does not have a front wing. Magnus does not have a front wing here. Here in Baku. Now it looks like Big Pickle has also retired in the Aston, as we have 2 drive-through penalties. AMG Turbo in the Red Bull and J3A Plus. Currently sitting P3 in that Ferrari. So currently Ferrari 1-3 at the moment here in Azerbaijan. But Fusible Orange, actually no, Fusible Orange takes the lead of the sprint race here in Baku. So currently a Ferrari 2-3 at the moment. Let's see if Ace can maybe catch up to Fusible Orange using some of his ERS, as he currently has 95% ERS and depleting his ERS now. Currently 410 separating Fusible Orange and Ace. He's going right on board with Ace here. Not gaining, not using ERS, but with the slipstream really helping him move up. Will Ace send up the inside? No, he won't. Looks like he's waiting for that second straight. Ace getting a little bit loose there on exit, and looks like Asylum, he spun. And that is Asylum out of the sprint race. Looks like it just purely looks like Asylum lost traction there, coming out of turn 1. So that is our 3rd retiree of the race. And it looks like Elizabeth in the Alpha turn. Now that is a safety car. So Elizabeth currently in the pit lane, going from the mediums. Let's see what tires he or she decides to put on. Also needs to change her the front wing, I believe, going on to the medium tires. Salad tosser on the hard tires. But Rosenstan, the Danish Alpha Romeo driver, currently on the soft tires. So I believe everyone's probably gonna pit for the soft tires. I was pressing the one to go through. Anyways, yeah, there's a very bad chance that everyone's gonna pit for softs, I believe, since safety car only lasts 3 laps, I believe. So there's a good chance that everyone's gonna pit for the soft compound tires and go at it for the final 3 laps, 2-3 laps. Unless some people do decide to stay out, but there is a good chance everyone will pit for the soft tires. Let's go and see who decides to pit. I don't believe anyone's pitting. No, actually, JK Plus currently sitting P7 with no front wing. He's decided to pit. Magnus as well, who I believe also has no front wing, has also decided to pit. So 3 drivers actually. Salad Tosser as well, currently on those hard tires, who did come in last lap. So hopefully those 3 will take, actually 4 actually, will use those soft tires to their advantage and maybe get through the rest of the field. Because currently Salad Tosser, who originally started on pole position for the sprint race, hoping to score some points here, maybe. Let's go see our biggest movers. Actually, yeah, AMG Turbo and Jake 3A Plus, both drivers in the Ferrari and the Red Bull and the Ferrari, both have drive-throughs still needed to be served. So, yeah, JK Plus will, yeah, I believe he's just gonna go attempt to go for fastest lap here, maybe try to steal that point away. But hopefully he'll still be able to get fastest lap. Um, safety car. Yeah, currently we're just waiting on Rosenstand Magnus. Those are about to catch up to the back of JK Plus, and just currently waiting on the two off the tires of Stylitosser and Elizabeth. Then we'll be able to get going for these final couple of laps here at Azerbaijan. Biggest movers. Ares goes up another position actually from not pitting, so currently sitting P7. The biggest our biggest loser from this since the start actually is Salad who started on pole for this sprint race, but now currently sits P14. But looking at the field, uh, Ace looks to be doing relatively well. Hopefully, JK Plus will hopefully be able to get through the rest of the field here in these final 2-3 laps of green flag racing we have here at Azerbaijan. Chernobyl iClocks sitting in P6 at the moment in the Williams that's currently carrying Williams in the sprint race, as his teammate Villeneuve has decided to retire from the sprint race. So hopefully the Williams will be able to score some decent points. Will safety car be in this lap? Will it be in this lap? That is the question I need to know. Yes, safety car is in this lap. So Fusible Orange has decided to go already, nearly building 1.1 seconds. So very noticeable that he's running an extremely low downforce setup. Ace will really, hopefully, he's gonna be able to capitalize. But Game Boy, sister Alpine, already overtaking Ace, going wheel to wheel to turn 1. Very clean turn 1 from Ace and Game Boy. Now going down the field, as looks like Chernobyl has nearly looks like has he clipped the wall? I don't believe so. He just managed to avoid getting front end plate damage. So, but downforce is really crucial here. So very lucky to not lose any part of his front wing. As Chernobyl getting really loose coming out of sector 1. Will Clay take advantage? going wheel to wheel, and Clay making the move before entering the very tight and narrow castle section here of Azerbaijan. Of the Azerbaijan circuit. As two people have done a Charles Leclerc. Magnus and I Took have both done a Charles Leclerc. So, from the looks of it, we'll end this race on a safety car. Just incredible. So, looks like Azerbaijan has, I would like to say humbled, but punched as Ace retires. Ace has retired from P2. So currently it is an Alpine 1-2 in the sprint race. And a podium for Ladrodri. Currently sitting in P3. And Era sitting P4 from P18. So really big mover there. So I believe there is a very strong chance that we finish this race under safety car. But honestly, I have no clue. But Azerbaijan punishing two drivers of Magnus and I Took in the Mercedes, in the McLaren and the Mercedes. So in the span of 7 laps, we've lost on 6 drivers. It's just incredible, really, what Azerbaijan, the circuit of Azerbaijan can really do, honestly. Really, just, I think from Magnus and Isaac really hitting the wall, I think that just really shows how difficult the Baku circuit really is. Especially trying to get the line through the castle section. Just trying to get the line right through there. Which, now speaking of safety cars in this lap. So we will see 2 laps of racing. Lap 8 and 9. As Fusible Orange has decided to go. So the 2 Alpines in front look like to be running away from Ladrodri, currently sitting in P3, but here comes Ares in the Mercedes. Will he potentially make the move into turn 1 on Ladrodri, sending it up the inside? And move is successful. Ares overtaking Fusible Orange as well, so Ares up into P2, Carson up into P3, and Ladrodri going up and down to P4. But Fusible Orange from P1 to P6 in one whole sector. Everyone really caught Fusible Orange off guard, as Fusible Orange has also hit the wall. So Fusible Orange, who went from leading the race on lap 8, has now retired due to not having enough traction. So currently leading is Game Boy in the Solo Alpine, sitting in P1, followed by the Mercedes Ares, P2, and Carson in P3. Ladrodri's in P4, but really heated battle that might start on this final lap here. For this P4 position, actually a potential podium here on the cards for Ladrodri. If La Rosa's able to just use his ERS on the straights, then well, actually no, Clay might be able to get the run here. Clay just purely because of the slipstream and ERS. Will he get the move? Yes, he will. Clay up into P4, and they ask him, will he potentially go for P3? Riding on board, will he send it? No, he won't. On the final lap, Clay getting a little bit loose there. La Rodri not capitalizing on that quite yet. So, if La Rodri can capitalize on Clay's potential of potential loss of traction, maybe some wheel spin coming out of a corner, then that might, there's a potential P4, maybe even P3 on the cards if Carson and Clay do tangle. But really tight battle for P6 and 7 as Chernobyl and Rosenstand both battle it out for P6 and 7. About to enter the castle section here. Will anyone be punished here in this final lap of the sprint race? No, actually. Everyone makes it through safely. As now Game Boy approaches the final sector of the Azerbaijan circuit. As he approaches these final couple of corners, approaching the final corner of the circuit. Oh, Clay's hit the wall! Clay has hit the wall! Clay has lost his P4! And that is a podium for Carson! But Rosenstand, will he make the move for P4? No, he won't. He just barely misses out. Rosenstand nearly getting a top 4 finish. Just narrowly. Narrowly, what a tight finish between La Rodri and Rosenstand. Losing nearly half the grid. Incredible finish from Rosenstand and La Rodri. Just wow. Eric getting driver of the day in the sprint race, but we still have the main race coming up here right after this. But Clay, who went from P4, looks like he got a little bit of understeer and hit the wall. Just wow. A really close finish from La Rodri and Rosenstand, as he was about to get La Rodri's P4, but Rodri managed to hold him off. So really tight finish from those two. I believe that's 3 safety cars in the sprint, I believe. 2 to 3, maybe. I don't know. But, that, joke's on you. That wasn't the actual race. That was the sprint, so just from that, I think we can say that it's going to be an exciting Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Hey, you never know, I might jump in myself. I actually won't jump in. I'm not allowed. Yay. Anyways, just from that, quite an exciting 9 laps of Baku. Just from the sprint. Just from the sprint, mind. So, if we have that type of close racing near the end of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, then hey, I got lucky saying yes to this small gig then. Now, currently just waiting on the grid. Just wow. Incredible racing. Really just incredible racing. Currently just waiting for the grid now. Update from Mexico FP3. Albon is challenging Verstappen. And Checo's hitting P3 and FP3, so lovely. And Sargent's hitting P11, so Sargent. Anyways, 5 red lights. And we are lights out, and away we go for the sprint race. Aris, the Game Boy defending the inside line, so Aris won't be able to overtake him. No, everyone's clean through. As we already have a VFC severe collision. A small tangle. It looks like. Does he have wing damage? No. Yes, he's lost his front left end plate. So already a horrible start for Magnus, already losing his front left end plate from his McLaren. So that's really gonna affect him if he doesn't box his lap. That's really gonna affect him. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully he's gonna box his lap and not lose that time. So Arias has actually taken the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Maybe he might have gotten him on the exit of turn 2. So good stuff from the Mercedes driver. Game Boy currently sitting P2. Carson and LaRodri both have held their position of P3 and 4 as we go green again. Car going through actually that was the last corner of sector 2. Now this is sector 3 as we're now about to finish the final lap. Now let's see if anyone's gonna make some big moves here. As looks like Clay making a move on Sautertosser using his ERS. And will make the move. But will Sautertosser come back though? No, he won't, but they're going 3 wide. Ace on those hard tires, staying it up the inside. I took, and Fusible Orange going and hitting the wall. Is that damage for Asylum? No, it is not. What about Ace? No damage from the looks of it for Ace, but really close call. So a really close call for Ace, nearly making contact with, nearly going into the back of Fusible Orange, who went a little bit wide, exiting turn 1. So really close call. Anyways, going back to the front, Elizabeth currently sitting P5, really all over the back of that Rodri's rear wing. Will Elizabeth be able to make a move here in the penultimate corner of sector 2? As it looks like someone's hit the wall. That Chernobyl making contact there, hitting the wall. No, it looked like he slammed the wall there, but I guess I was seeing things. But everyone's starting to go back into their packs, into their small individual groups, as Game Boy sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on 44.6, as Elizabeth attempting to send it up the inside without Rodri, but not successful. But Rosenstein all over the back of Elizabeth. Fusible Orange gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Elizabeth makes the move before the braking zone. Incredible stuff from Elizabeth. Going up into P4 with her teammate. As Feasible Orange has retired, and that is a VSC. As looks like he just retired on track. Yeah, he looks like he's retired on track. His car just stranded there with no front wing. So that is a safety car now. So let's see what everyone's tires are. So a lot of mixed strategies here. Majority of the field favoring the medium tires. So it is a safety car. As you can see, that yellow dot is sitting over there in sector 1. So majority of our top 5 is running the medium tires, the mediums, but Carson is the sole driver in the top 5 that's running the hard tires. So Carson really thinking long term into this race. That is 26 laps of the Azerbaijan circuit. As Game Boy has decided to come in, Eris has decided to continue. I'm assuming Game Boy will go on to the hard compound of tires, and yes, he will. Chernobyl and Magnus, all 3 of them go onto the hard compound of tires. So everyone's really mixing up their strategies now. So currently we have a safety car due to Fusible Orange retiring on track as his car was stranded in the middle of turn 1. Luckily he was ghosted, so luckily we didn't have a second car that had to be retired. So luckily the game has come in clutch. As currently we're just waiting on Kendrick's Ace and Pickle in the Haas, Ferrari, and Aston Martin. Oh my god. Me. So currently just waiting on Pickle, and then I believe we will go green at the end of this lap, I believe, if Pickle catches up. Jesus Christ. Apologies for the pop-ups. But Apologies for that. So currently, for fuck's sakes, bro. Yeah, I believe we will go green at the end of this lap. Yes, we will go green. That felt like ages, if I'm being honest with you, but gives me to nurse my voice. Question is, how early or how late will Eris goes in the lead Mercedes? Really bunching up the pack. How late will Eris goes? See all those cars that Eris is holding up. He's really holding it really late, really late. When will he go? That is the question here. He's going now. I looked at I think that was a glitch maybe. Magnus has decided to pit. Right to the left of Rosenstein already making a move on La Rodri. Looks like Magnus has decided to retire. Asylum already making a move on Clay, but not fully completing the move. Just in, and also making a move on La Rodri, and makes the move stick. So really good stuff from Asylum on those 5-lap old medium tires. Now looking towards Game Boy on those fresh hard tires that he pit for under the safety car. As it looks like someone has spun there, as I believe Ace. No, that's not Ace. Thought it looked like someone had wing damage, but I guess not. It's like Villeneuve, the two Williams. Or Chris in P17 and 18. It's like Salatoss has also spun. Yeah, he's spun. He's gone straight on. Aaron's now nearly going into sector 3. As Carson sitting right behind Ares on those 5-lap old hard tires compared to Ares's medium tires. As yellow flag, there's a bit of a tangle up there between Salatoss and Villeneuve. As Elizabeth potentially trying to make the move. As Ares attempting to go around the outside, compromises his line. But Carson, the one coming out on top after all of that, Rosenstein also beginning to enter the fight for the podium early on in this first stint of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Game Boy looking for a move there around the outside, but not successful. Errors so oh, looks like Game Boy has spun. Having to do a second 180 to get back on facing the right direction. So really unfortunate for Yellow flag as AMG Turbo. That is a safety car. It looks like he's hit the wall. See if we go on. Well, yes, he has. Looks like he's lost traction and it hit the wall on the right side. So our second safety car already. And the majority of the drivers do decide to pit, and all going onto the hard tires. So currently, everyone who started on the hard tires really benefiting from starting on those hard tires, especially after the two safety cars. So the hard tire gambles really worked out. So currently we're just waiting on Salad Toaster, Villeneuve, and Pickle. Then we'll be able to get going again. So I believe if Villeneuve's able to catch up to the end of the field in sector 2, we should be able to go green for the third time. Hopefully we'll go green flag. Hopefully for the third time. Counting this safety cars in this lap, please, 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 please. Yes. When will Carson go? As he's currently 75% on throttle. So not backing up the field. Uh, like Game Boy. But it's working. Now he's backing up the field. When will he go? That is the question here. As he does decide to go and immediately using his ERS, trying to build that gap between himself and his teammate Clay, wanting to make the move on Rosenstad. and Clay makes the move stick. So currently, Alfa Romeo 1-3, but Clay currently splitting that result. Will Rosenstand send it up the inside? No, he won't. Playing it safe here on this second restart in 10 laps. I would say you're relatively clean. Looks like Elizabeth there, a little bit of wheel spin there on traction, and Asylum getting a position. It's really good stuff. As it looks like, yeah, it looks like Rosenstand went from P2 down to P4. Yellow flag, and Salatosh has retired, and that is a ding 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 third safety car. Oh my god. Boys, it's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long one, just telling you that now. So our third safety car. 16 laps to go. Lovely. Cannot wait to see what that race time is. And hopefully, come on. I want to watch Mexico qualifying. Come on, please. Por favor. As it looks like four drivers are pitting. Chernobyl, I took Game Boy, and Villeneuve have all decided to pit. As Chernobyl has gotten disqualified for blocking the pit lane exit. It looks like I took Game Boy and Villeneuve have all decided to take the gamble to make those soft tires last 13 laps. So, so really big of a gamble that they've decided to take with being, with the degradation here being relatively average. As, yeah, see, AMG Turbo has also left the sessions. So, we've lost 5 drivers so far. Lovely. So hopefully, Villiers will catch up, and we'll go green next lap, next time around. I'll go quiet, on this board. As yeah, looks like we're gonna go green. Safety car will be in this lap. Hopefully, we'll have an actual clean start. It's Carson warming up his tires, brake dragging at the moment. Hopefully. So, the only people who have not pitted is our top three, which consist of Carson, Clay, and Rosenstand, which are two Alfa Romeos and one singular Aston that's in the points. How late will Carson go? That's the real question. As Carson has decided to go using his ERS already. Already building at 3/10 gap as looks like Ace has decided to make a big send. And it looks like Rosenstand taken out from P3's gone down to last. Whoever did that, what an audacious move, I have to say. And Clay sending it up the inside of Carson to take the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Good send by Clay. Now Ares, who has 5-lap old hard tires, who's looking to make the move on Carson there. Backing out there before the castle section. And we're making it there relatively clean. Love to see it. As Rosenstein has no front wing. Ace has his front wing, so. So Rosenstein really unfortunate. Going from P4 down to P14. So really unfortunate. Extremely unfortunate. So now Carson now hunting down Clay, but Asylum there wanting to searching for that move on Eris there, but nearly making the move stick. So really good stuff. As Eris now makes the move on Carson, so Eris now up into P2. As it looks like Asylum locked up his front right there. In the middle of Sector 1. Asylum sticking his front axle there. Going for a switchback. Unsuccessful. Does not get that rotation, but behind Asylum, a battle between the two Honda powered Red Bull powertrain powered teams. AlphaTauri and Red Bull. Mac T was really searching for the move on Elizabeth as yellow flag sector 2, and that is Ace, and that will potentially be another third safety car as Asylum has hit the wall. No wing damage, so I believe he's made contact with Elizabeth. But no damage. In no safety car. Surprisingly for Ace. Most likely parked up in a safe spot. In the gap there, but going back Elizabeth make a move on Carson. MacT also in this battle as well. And Carson letting MacT by. So really close battle for the rest of the top 5 positions. And it looks like those two are going to start hauling away. MacT making the move on Elizabeth. So MacT currently on the podium since he... So this would be a really good result since he did not take part in the sprint race. As he did do right before the sprint race started. But he did not have enough time to get onto the grid. So really good stuff. But currently Clay on those 14 lap old medium tires. As he's currently in his pit window. So next time he comes across the line, that is 10 laps remaining as yellow flag sector 2 as Villeneuve has retired. If this is a safety car, then it's going to be really good for Clay. Because he's able to minimize his time loss. And no, it's not. So Villeneuve has retired. It's really unfortunate. So Clay currently leading the pack. In the SMRs, MacT takes the fastest lap, 44.4 on those hard tires. Currently less than 10%, so that's why he's flashing. Hopefully he's able to continue to build that gap to Elizabeth. So then himself, Eris, and Clay can all run away from the rest of the grid. So potentially, as it looks like Elizabeth got a little bit loose there, I believe. Struggling on throttle, but Rosen on the mediums 43.9. So he's still in this race as JoMo has left the session. Oh, he DSQ'd, so most likely he was watching the race for a bit. As now approaching the castle section, let's see if everyone makes it safely through this lap. Everyone making it through relatively safe. The top 3 is really starting to run away. 2.2 seconds. MacT's Elizabeth's gap to MacT. So MacT is really saving the ERS here, who started at 8% earlier on in the lap. Currently now at 19%. So he does have that DRS carrying him around as Clay does decide to pit. So now it's only Eris and MacT with the gap. So if these two can continue on their tires to potentially lap 20, 21 maybe, they'll be able to get onto the soft tires and run away with it. As MacT looking for that move to put him into the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here at SNRA. So currently 7/10 down on his best lap time, MacT in Sector 1. Not using the ERS just yet. Most likely saving it for the straights after the castle section. Will he be able to get through here safely? Yes, he will. MacT getting the better line there. Closing that gap down. As MacT now nearly going wheel to wheel there. Making a small amount of contact there, but not enough to warrant a move. So top 5 really starting to run away here. Now will Macti make a move here and pit? Not pit, because they're probably gonna go to lap 20, 21, maybe even 22. Well, Macti having the DRS makes the move and takes the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So really good stuff. As it looks like Elizabeth goes up into P3. And Game Boy, Pickle, and I took those three pit as Game Boy's going on to a new set of soft tires. And I took going on to the medium compound tires. And Pickle going on to the softs as well. No, but our focus isn't on that. Our main focus here is for the battle for the lead. Eris and Maxi battling it out like Verstappen and Hamilton flashbacks in 2021. Hopefully we won't see a puncture here for Maxi on those hard a rear right puncture on those hard tires. But Maxi really strong there in that specific part in sector 2. 1.3 seconds now separating Maxi and Eris, both on the hard tires. So hopefully, Maxi is able to continue building that gap, and maybe get that to maybe a 3 second gap. 2 to 3 second gap. Hopefully, Maxi can build. So at least he'll have a bit of leverage here against Eris, but now Carson going back past Elizabeth. So if these two continue to fight, then as Clay sets the fastest lap 43.8. But going back to Carson and Elizabeth, if these two can work together to catch back up to Eris and not pit, then these two could potentially be in contention for a win. Assuming if Maxi and Eris do decide to pit, but I believe they won't. As Carson makes a little bit of contact there with the wall there. So really, so these two are really gonna need to work together if so Elizabeth and Carson sticking relatively close together. And again, I keep reiterating this. If these two work together, they have the potential to catch back up to the top two. Because if they continue fighting, then yellow flag sector 2, Kendricks has retired. Looks like he's just gone straight on. So not a safety car there. As Carson does pit on lap 20. Eris set, not Eris, Game Boy saying a 43-0. So Carson really taking the big gamble there to really build to gain all that time back that he's lost. Most likely 20 plus seconds that Carson has now lost. So if Carson can pretty much absolutely blast past everyone else here and go back up into P4, a potential podium is back on the cards for him. But from the looks of it, Eris and MacT will not box this lap, so it looks like they will continue till the end of the race. But we will see now as they approach the front straight now. If they do pit, then that's going to be a really big... And decides not to pit. Yep, looks like they're gonna go, yeah, looks like they're gonna keep going to the end of the race. As long as they keep it clean, they should, those two should be able to make it to the end of the race. So now it's Clay and Elizabeth both now fighting for the final podium spot, but only a second ahead of them is Aris. So a potential three-way fight for the final two podium spots on the podium. Because Clay will have the advantage here. Because Clay only has 4 lap old hard 4 lap old medium tires compared to Aris and MacT's and Elizabeth's hard tires that since they've been on for 13 laps. Now will Clay be able to take P2 here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and not crash out in the sprint race? Because in the sprint race, on the final lap, on the front straight, he did end up crashing out from P4 in the sprint. Clay does end up making the move for P2. Now it's a battle between Aris and Elizabeth for the final 4 laps, as Carson sets a 42.4 for fastest lap. So I believe, yeah, I think fastest lap is over contention-wise, as it goes to Carson. Speaking of Carson, he does go up a position, P7. But I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to Game Boy, though. Currently going to be fighting Asylum there for P5, a potential P5. Going back to this battle, potential battle between Aris and Elizabeth. If these two fight, then Asylum and Game Boy might be able to get involved and get a potential podium finish, but Elizabeth really will need to not, well, actually have a 4-second gap, so not in, just kidding. Anyways, Elizabeth still within Aris's DRS range. So if Elizabeth will most likely catch Aris's lap on the front straight, using a little bit of ERS there, just to build that speed a little, to get up to the top speed, their highest top speed, and they're capable in their setup. But luckily he did lift there, so not searching for the move there just yet. Searching for the move looks like to be on the second DRS straight. So hope Elizabeth closing, but not closing enough. But Elizabeth still able to keep up with Aris both sliding coming out of Sector 1. So hopefully, apologies about that, that's my pedal. But behind them, it looks like it to be a three-way fight for P5, 6, and 7 there. Carson really coming back on those soft tires. They took a big gamble on pitting from a podium position, back a near podium position, P4, down to P8 and 9, somewhere around there. Currently sitting P7. Will most likely not be able to get P6 on this straight. Now, both onto the DRS straight, front straight actually. Carson getting P6, getting the move done before turn 1. Lovely stuff. Now, all he has to do is catch up to Game Boy. Was 6 lap old. Uh, Soft tires, but going back to the front, looks like Clay has caught up to Maxi, has made the move into turn 3 near the end of sector 1. So Clay on nearly half worn hard tires compared to Maxi. He's hard tires, so Clay already building a 1 second gap too. And we're now approaching these final 2 laps. 2 laps of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Bum. Maxi doesn't look like he's gonna get DR. Well, actually, he might be able to. No, he won't. He won't get the DRS. If not, he would have opened it already. But it looks like he did not get DRS. But going down, it is a near four-way fight. Game Boy singing up the inside of Eris, who was originally in P2 earlier on. But now he's back down to P5. So Elizabeth currently under threat from Game Boy, going defensive. Game Boy going back to the racing line. Will he make the move, stick around the outside? Yes, he will. Making the move around the outside. So good move from Game Boy on the penultimate lap to secure a P3. But now, will Carson be able to capitalize and potentially come back? Because he does have fresher tires compared to Game Boy. If he's able to make the move on Aries here before Sector 3, then it's like he's got the better exit, I believe, compared to Aries. Catching, actually. Wanting to send it up the inside. Someone locked up there. Waiting for the DRS straight there. So Carson really took a risk and made back all that time, 20 plus seconds. Carson using his ERS, but both have the DRS, and Carson making the move. Carson is within a second of Elizabeth. So if Carson's able to get P4, then he might be able to get P3 before the end of this lap. Just spamming his ERS, not quite, but Elizabeth is flashing, so that's under 10%. Riding on board with Carson at the moment. Will Carson be able to make the move? No, still holding off for the move. A little bit of contact there for Carson. Nearly hit small amount of contact with the wall that Carson had there. At this rate, Carson won't be able to catch up to Game Boy for a potential podium. As Elizabeth goes a little bit wide, exiting the council section. But I don't believe that. I don't think that's going to be enough. Carson gaining nearly 3/10 in one corner. Rosenstein 3-second time penalty for I believe track limits. Carson will get. Will be able to, yeah, he's going to get the DRS on the penultimate lap, spamming the ERS, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It's not going to be enough for Carson to come back to a podium. So not enough for Carson. But Big Pickle picking up some points. Starting last and ended up 9th. But actually Rosenstein, another close finish, takes P9. But they finished at the exact same time. But Pickle, really close. 11 hundredths of a second separating Pickle and Rosenstein. But Clay, coming back from an early incident, now winning. Good stuff. As after three safety cars, I believe, 2 or 3 safety cars, the race is finally done. Felt like a wet race, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, here is your points for this weekend. Clay winning the race. Actually, yeah, Clay on top. Uh, yeah, she started from P11. Actually, no, Clay, Macty is the one who started last. I thought Big Pickle was the one who started last, but that was Macty. So a near last to first for Macty. Good stuff. Game Boy finishing third. Carson fourth. Elizabeth fifth. Aris sixth. Asylum seventh. La Rodri eighth. Big Pickle 9. And Rosenstein 10. And I took P11 and Jake A plus. P12. Here's your points for this weekend. I'd say a really good weekend from Game Boy. So yeah, good stuff. Think it's glitched. Damn. Think it glitched. Yeah, it glitched. Anyways, I'm just ending the stream here. This is your race finishers there. After the 3 seconds, there. Sprint finish. this is your overall weekend finish. Anyway, that is it for me. It is your boy Zer City out.